Yeah, y'all gonna stop coming in my live talking about this Victor dude, bro. We hooping this year. Y'all gonna see.
Hi team, today we have some news regarding Kevin Durant, and I know that's a sentence that y'all have been hearing for a while now. There has been so much KD news, so we've just been trying to keep y'all updated. But before we get into that, I wanted to announce to y'all that we decided on the giveaway. I posted on X yesterday giving away a Stephon Castle jersey at 2,000 subscribers. To enter, drop a screenshot of you subscribe to Spurs Spotlight on YouTube and tag 2 people down below. You must be following me on X. As you can see, we are a little closer than we were yesterday. Now we have 1,857, so we're almost there. We will be giving this jersey away at 2,000, and there have been people that have gone and submitted to be in the giveaway. I'm gonna show y'all the list. This is who I have so far. And so if you don't see your name on there, go ahead and come to this comment section and make sure you're submitted. There is a couple of people who didn't submit themselves, but I've seen them in the comment section like almost every video, and so I threw them in for a chance to win this jersey because I really appreciate all y'all's support. Now, if you don't have X, that isn't the end of the world for you. Y'all can go ahead and also shoot me a DM on Instagram. I'm really not on this at all. I only have 19 followers on here. I need to change the whole thing. This isn't even my profile picture anymore. And as you can see, the subscribers are not up to date, so I'm not on here, but you can shoot me a message if you don't have X. But the safest way is probably to enter through here. That's where everyone's leaving their submissions, and I'm leaving a like on whoever I'm putting on the list, so I'm just going down and liking them all so I know who I already put on the list. But with that being said, y'all go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and y'all get into this contest so we can give away the jersey. But last night around 10 p.m. a report came out that Kevin Durant wants to play for the Spurs. I don't know exactly how this report came out, but it says league sources tell The Athletic that he specifically wants to play for the San Antonio Spurs, and this is huge because this gives the Spurs the ultimate leverage. We have been waiting for this for a while, and this puts the Spurs directly in the driver's seat. Forget everything that we have been hearing about the Spurs being out of the talks, the Suns focusing on the Rockets deal or another deal like the Timberwolves. This automatically makes the Spurs deal one of the better deals because other teams are going to see that Kevin Durant wants to be a Spur, and they're not going to be able to give major assets because they know that Kevin Durant wants to be a Spur. He's on the last year of his deal, and so if he goes to a team that he doesn't want to, he's not going to sign an extension, and it's going to be like a Kawhi situation where he went to Toronto for 1 year. And so I think teams will start to lay off and start to give offers that aren't that appealing, and so this makes the Spurs deal look that much better because it basically lowers value of every other team's trades. And this is similar to what we saw from De'Aaron Fox. When he said he wanted to play for the Spurs, every other team's offer just became weaker because they knew that he was going to go to the Spurs ultimately after his contract was up, and he wasn't going to sign a long-term deal wherever he went. Now, this is similar to what we were just talking about because Kevin Durant wanting to be a Spur means that he doesn't really want to be elsewhere. And although he does have some second options like the Rockets, the Heat, the Timberwolves, and the Knicks, well, actually, the Timberwolves aren't even in this conversation because Shams is told that Kevin Durant has no desire to be in Minnesota with the Timberwolves, and so that kind of limits you down to the Rockets, Spurs, Heat, and Knicks. But then again, if you know he wants to be a Spur, these other teams aren't going to give up like Cat, Jalen Green, or their number 10 pick. They might want to stand pat. So overall, this is all good news for the Spurs, and this eliminates Minnesota because Kevin Durant does not want to go to Minnesota. But the league sources say the Spurs have been conservative in their pursuit of Kevin Durant. We have seen some reports saying that the package was Devin Vassell, Harrison Barnes, and the 14th pick, what the Spurs were willing to offer. I also saw a report, I'm not entirely sure where, that said the Spurs would unload second round draft capital, and I'm cool with that. I mean, the Spurs have an abundance of second round picks, and so if you can use them to get a player like Kevin Durant, then there's no better use for those second round picks in my opinion. And they ask, will that change? Now that these reports have came out, I don't think this changes. I think the Spurs can still play conservative, and either way, it will be a win-win situation for the Spurs. If you get Kevin Durant for a good deal, then that's great. But if another team just outbids you and unloads a lot of capital for Kevin Durant, then that's fine too. You can stand pat with your core, and you still have the number 2 pick, Castle. If we don't get Durant, then we'll still have Vassell, Harrison Barnes, and so either way, I think the Spurs are in a situation to win. So to answer this question very simply, this will not change. The Spurs will continue to be conservative, but I think their conservative trade packages have been boosted in value because Kevin Durant says that he wants to go specifically to the Spurs. And then you also have this post by D-Book Owns You. I don't know how reliable his sources are, but he says Suns will be getting an embarrassing return for Kevin Durant. And this could probably be nothing. I don't know. I'm just only showing y'all this because it's from a Suns fan's point of view. I don't know how reliable his sources are, so this could very well be nothing. I just think it's pretty funny that he's kind of in acceptance that the Suns are just going to get a alright package. I wouldn't say embarrassing package unless you're not getting like Vassell or something, but I think they'll be getting an alright package, but nothing like they gave up to acquire Kevin Durant. And last but not least, we have this post right here by Spurs Interaction. Look at Sham's body when Iman Shumpert mentions the Spurs as KD's best landing spot. What does he know? Maybe I'm doing too much. And so take a look at this video. Look at Shams as soon as he mentions the Spurs.
We're talking about a basketball point. I think that him being in San Antonio and just having that coaching.
Bro's like, does he know? And then he looks at the camera. Look at how it pans in his face. Bro just started staring at the camera when he mentioned San Antonio. I don't know if he's trying to give us a hint or something. We all know Shams is really tapped in and he knows what's going on behind the scenes. I mean, this could very well be nothing. He could maybe be doing too much, but I think this is something because we also had Iman Shumpert quote tweet this and say, I know what Shams wanted to say. Eyeball emoji, laughing emoji, laughing emoji. He tagged Shams and said, gonna be a great summer. And then we have Evan down here saying thanks, Iman. So man, all the signs are pointing to Kevin Durant being a Spur. Shout out Benji Creates. And I can't guarantee nothing. Like I say, I don't have any sources, but I will tell y'all that this feels like it's gonna happen more likely than not. A good favorable coin flip. But even if this doesn't happen, I still think that the Spurs would be in a great spot. But if the Spurs do get Kevin Durant, then they can do some damage in the West next season. And for the price that they will probably get him at, the Spurs will be a contending team. As long as you fill in the spots like the backup center and maybe a little bit of overall depth with whatever mid-level exceptions you have or whatever, it's going to be a scary season. Alright team, now I already had the video completed, but then this report came out before I was going to edit this video. And so we got to talk about it. The Spurs could hold off on Kevin Durant and stockpile assets for a bigger star. I think they're going to be stocking their assets for potentially a bigger move, a bigger player, someone who may fit their timeline. And this is where we talk about the win-win situation. If you go out and get Kevin Durant, then that's great. But if you don't get Kevin Durant and you miss out, someone outbids you, then it's not the end of the world. You're still in a great situation. And I think this report is accurate because there's really no pressure on the Spurs to make this move. If the Suns are trying to hold off and get Castle, the number 2 pick, if they're not budging at what the Spurs are giving, and that relates back to the other slide where we said the Spurs offers were kind of underwhelming and the Suns didn't like it, and could the Spurs possibly package up more? I said no, the Spurs are going to stand pat, and this report confirms my thinking. The Spurs aren't in a situation to where they just have to trade for Kevin Durant. We are in a way better spot than the Suns. If anything, the Suns need us and even the Rockets to offer more, or else the Timberwolves are going to be able to get by with getting Kevin Durant for less than what they're probably offering, even though Kevin Durant does not want to be a Timberwolf. I also saw a report that said the Suns are hoping that Kevin Durant warms up to the opportunity of playing with the Timberwolves, but who knows? So who knows? I don't know who may come available, but nothing is out of the realm of possibility in the NBA because you see a lot of stars going on the trading block nowadays. And so this is not a bad move. Either way the Spurs could go, they're gonna win. So with that being said, y'all be sure to leave a like, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to Spurs Spotlight. Until next time, it has been your boy Chris, and I'll catch y'all later. I'm out.